Welcome to the City Board of Directors agenda meeting this afternoon. This is where we have an opportunity to review the agenda for our upcoming meeting next Tuesday on April 4th and to discuss the items that are going to come before our citizens. Today we have several presentations to take care of first before we get into that discussion. And I'd like to call on Sarah Linehan, I believe, and James Jones. There's Sarah. For some recognitions and awards that our finance department and individuals in our finance department have received. And let me just tell you that in this era of transparency and accountability, these awards are very important. They really recognize the professionalism of the city and the city employees who are responsible for making sure that we spend the taxpayers' dollars correctly, effectively, and that we report on that information in such a way. So Sarah is the head of our department, and certainly I know she reserves recognition and credit, but I know she's going to give a lot of that credit to her employees as well. So Sarah, if you will, please.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board, Assistant City Manager. I am serving today in my capacity as the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and America, Arkansas State Representative. I serve in that role for our Arkansas Society with the National Association. And so in that capacity today, I'm here to present the first two awards. The first of which is the Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for our 2016 budget document. GFOA established this award in 1984 to encourage and assist state and local governments to prepare budget documents of the very highest quality that reflect the guidelines established by the National Advisory Council on State and Local Budgeting and GFOA's best practices on budgeting. Documents that are submitted to the awards program are reviewed by selected members of the GFOA professional staff and by outside reviewers with experience in public sector budgeting. The city was notified on July 12, 2016, that we had received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the 2016 budget document. I want you to know that the City of Little Rock is one of only 2 municipalities in the state of Arkansas and of 6 governmental agencies overall in the state to receive this award for the 2016 budget year. The city has achieved this award 22 times, which is more than the total of the other 5 agencies combined. So we are very proud of that. I want to recognize Laverne Duvall, our budget officer, and Silas Rofe, our budget analyst, for their work in preparing the budget document. Unfortunately, Laverne couldn't be with us tonight. She served as our budget officer for many, many years, and unfortunately she was ill and not able to make it today. But I would like to recognize both Laverne and Silas, our budget analyst, for their work in preparing the budget document. In addition, I'd like to recognize Ember Strange, the Assistant Finance Director, Scott Massinelli, the Treasury Manager, Colleen Young, our Asset Accountant, and all the city departments for contributing information, goals, service measures, and other information required for the budget document. In addition, I want to recognize the city manager, the mayor, and the board for their commitment to excellence and transparency in financial reporting. Without your continued support, the finance department would not be able to receive this recognition. So I'm going to ask Silas to come forward to accept this. We've got our last 4 years' worth of awards noted on this plaque. The other 18 are hanging in the hallway upstairs in our finance department. So Silas, if you'll want to present you with this award. Oh, here, we'll turn and let her take it. Okay. Thank you. Would you like to say anything?
Mayor, Assistant City Manager, and Board, I'd just like to say that a lot of hard work and many hours have gone into the preparation of the budget document. And with great pride, we accept this award, and we do so each year. We put a lot of hard work into it, and we do it for the city. It's for the citizens in the city. And so thank you for allowing us the opportunity to participate in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. So the second award that I would like to present today is the GFOA Award for Excellence in Financial Reporting, which the city obtained for the 2015 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. This report was started, or this award program began a little bit earlier. GFOA established this program back in 1945 to encourage and assist state and local governments to go beyond the minimum requirements of generally accepted accounting principles and to prepare comprehensive annual financial reports that evidence the spirit of transparency and full disclosure. The goal of the program is not to assess the financial health of the participating government, but rather to ensure that users of the financial statements have the information they need to do so themselves. Reports submitted to the CAFR program are reviewed by selected members of the GFOA professional staff, by the GFOA Special Review Committee, which comprises individuals with expertise in public sector financial reporting. It includes financial statement preparers, independent auditors, academics, and other finance professionals. The City of Little Rock is one of only 7 municipalities in Arkansas to receive this award for the 2015 CAFR. In total, the city has received this award 34 times, more than any other municipality in the state. Other cities in Arkansas that have achieved this designation include Bentonville, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Hot Springs, Jacksonville, and Texarkana. You all may recall that completion of our 2015 CAFR was delayed due to issues with receiving required GASB 68 information for pension disclosure from LOTFI this past year. The LOTFI delay impacted all municipalities in the state that obtain audits performed with generally accepted accounting principles. The city obtained an extension for filing our report in order to still qualify for the award, and our CAFR was submitted to the program on October 31st, 2016. We were very pleased and surprised when in January we were notified that we had received this award. It normally takes them 6 months to conduct this review, and this was done in less than 3 months. The complex pension disclosures that were required by GASB 68 this year added 30 pages to our comprehensive annual financial report. You can do all of the detail reading you would like to on the city's various pension plans, the funding status, what happens if the earnings rate goes up or down 1%, and all kinds of information in Note 6 to our financial statements. In prior years, that disclosure was only 11 pages long. So I want to recognize Ember Strange. I'll ask her to come forward as our Assistant Finance Director, and to her superb staff, and I want you guys to stand as I call your names. Anita Worley, Assistant Comptroller, Colleen Young and Octavia Ashford, which were our capital asset accountants, Ben Juergens, our General Fund Accountant, Ben Damgard, our Bond and Enterprise Fund Accountant, Nancy Warfield, the Cash and Bank Reconciliation Accountant, and Tommy Bowman, our Payroll Supervisor. In addition, I want to recognize Scott Massinelli, our Treasury Manager. Abdul Kabal is out of town today, our Purchasing Manager. Karen Curry, our Grants Manager, and her staff, Lottie Keaton, Amanda Jones, and Jean Bruner. And then Debbie Carrero, our Internal Audit Manager, and Jim Brown. Those are he's our Fiscal Systems Administrator. Those are the folks that are the most intimately involved with preparation of our continuing or comprehensive annual financial report. Now I'd like the other finance members that are here to stand, and they represent primarily our purchasing and treasury and budget, some of the other areas that keep the city rolling and keep the bills paid and the payroll processed, but that don't necessarily have to prepare the comprehensive annual financial report. So once again, we have this handy-dandy plaque with buttons for our years because we've got 30-some of these awards hanging in our hallway upstairs, and we are now consolidating them in this format. So I'd like to present this to Ember Strange.
Mayor, members of the board, Assistant City Manager, I'd just like to say thank you. Every year I think it's going to get easier, and every year Gatsby shows me wrong on that. But like Sarah said, we work till October 31st, I think at 4 o'clock is when we submitted it, and I couldn't do my job without all of these people that you saw stand up. They really, we're a team in finance. We work really hard to get our job done, and I think it's shown through these awards that we win over and over again. Yes, we had to file an extension last year. It was out of our control. We worked tirelessly and effortlessly to get that done. In January, I took over the budget department, so right now, Silas and I have been working to get the budget book done. I do want to thank Silas as well for his help in the CAFR. A lot of the budget book and the CAFR share some of the same information, so in my work in preparing the budget book, I'm starting to see those things, and I think we are going to become more efficient over the years in the two, because now that I'm working over both of those, I can kind of maybe write both of them at the same time. So I'm excited about that and where we're going to be going in these two documents. But again, thank you. And I can't say enough to my staff, thank you, because if I didn't have them, I couldn't do my job. And you're fixing to hear in a minute that police, Chief Fulk stole one of our employees. So I'm a little mad at her right now because she stole Colleen from us. But we've replaced her with some wonderful staff. So we're excited about that.
Okay, well, as Ember said, we are very proud of our finance staff, and we've got a very professional and talented staff. And so now I'd like to move on to 2 awards to recognize certain individuals for their achievement. The first is Debbie Carrero. She was selected as the Arkansas Government Finance Officers Association Finance Officer of the Year. This award was granted to her in 2016. Each year, members of the Arkansas Government Finance Officers Association have an opportunity to nominate one of their peers for the AGFOA Finance Officer of the Year award. Nominations include discussion of the responsibility, attitude, initiative, and leadership qualities of the person under consideration. In 2016, Debbie was named as the AGFOA Finance Officer of the Year. She's a certified public accountant. She was selected as AGFOA Finance Officer of the Year for several reasons, including the initiative she took to refresh and reinvigorate the Internal Audit Division. Debbie first came to the city as a grants coordinator in 2011. She assumed the role of internal auditor in April 2015 when Cliff retired. And there was not an annual audit plan for the city at that time. The internal audit role in the past had primarily been one that reacted as questions arose and assisted with special projects. Debbie researched best practices. She's developed the city's internal audit plan. She's performed a formal risk analysis. She's met with the department directors throughout the city, inquired about any concerns they had or projects they had on the horizon. She reviews processes and procedures. She performs surprise cash accounts. She verifies inventories. She prepares summary reports at the conclusion of each review to assist other departments in evaluating the effectiveness of processes and controls. She's acquired new software to help with data mining across various city databases to identify risks and detect potential problems. Most recently, she developed an annual ethics and conflict of interest acknowledgement and reporting guideline for mid-managers and above. She's become a valuable resource to the finance department and to the city. I'm very pleased to recognize Debbie Carrero as the 2016 AGFOA Finance Officer of the Year. And I'm going to ask Debbie to come forward. I also want to just point out that last year she was also recognized as one of our 2 co-finance employees of the year. So, Debbie? Want to say anything?
Briefly. I'll say a quick thank you, Mayor and City Board and Assistant City Manager. Thank you for this honor and this acknowledgement. I am looking towards a vision for internal audit. We're looking every day to strive to be better and to look forward. And my goal is to be proactive, not reactive, so that we are looking at what is happening, so we're above and in front of every issue that may or possibly occur. So help me strive to meet this goal, and I would appreciate your thoughts in working with you. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Well, Debbie, congratulations, first of all, on receiving this award. It's certainly a big honor. And certainly having an internal auditor help to determine the direction, the right direction for us and our departments is so very important. So I'm glad to see that we've expanded that capacity in our role. And what's it like to be married to a CPA that helps us? Y'all talk numbers all the time. I'm just curious,
Actually, I'm the only CPA. I've been a CPA for 35 years, but my husband is an actuary. So it's a
Okay.
different profession altogether.
numbers.
But we do have some type of conversations that meet the same subject matter.
Well, for those of you who may be watching, Jody was very helpful in developing our pension process and systems. And so, Debbie, thank you and congratulations.
So the next individual award I would like to present is really an accomplishment. Colleen Young joined the Finance Department in August 2011. She served as the asset accountant until very recently. Just a year ago, we recognized Colleen with Debbie as our co-Finance Department Employees of the Year. Today, I'd like to recognize another significant accomplishment of Colleen's. She recently completed the requirements to become a certified government financial manager. A CGFM is a professional certification awarded by the Association for Government Financial Management Professionals, also known as the Association of Governmental Accountants. To earn a CGFM certificate, individuals must apply for the program and meet the following requirements. Ethics, she has to agree to abide by the AGA Code of Ethics. Education, she must have a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university. Colleen's always an overachiever, so she also has her master's degree. Examinations, she has to pass 3 comprehensive CGFM examinations, which cover governmental accounting, auditing, financial reporting, internal controls, and budgeting at the federal, state, and local levels. And then finally, experience. She had to have at least 2 years of professional level experience in governmental financial management. Colleen satisfied all of those requirements and became a certified governmental financial manager in December 2016. We're very proud of Colleen's accomplishments. We're also a little bit sad because she was recently stolen away from the Finance Department by the Police Department. She is going to assume Jim Foster's role as he retires. She'll be the Administrative Services Manager for the Police Department, reporting to Chief Falk. Again, we're extremely proud of Colleen and her accomplishments, and we're really happy to see her advance her career here at the city with this latest promotion. So please join me in congratulating Colleen Young. Come on up, Colleen. You have to at least stand here and have your picture taken. And would you like to say anything?
Mayor and Board, I was just going to say thank you, especially to the Finance Department. I've really enjoyed working there. I guess almost made it 6 years, but I'm also really looking forward to working with the Police Department, and I guess it was a willingly stolen, at least by me. So just wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate y'all recognizing me. So thanks.
Well, congratulations, Colleen.
And last but not least, this is not really an award, but it is, I think, a great accomplishment for the city. On an annual basis, or whenever the city issues debt, we have our debt rated by either Standard & Poor's or Moody's or both. The credit is reviewed on an annual basis, and I think the city manager sent out a notification to you all earlier this week or last week that, we do have our rating reviewed on an annual basis. And our most recently, we're notified that Moody's has upgraded the city's bond rating to AA1 from AA2. AA1 is a designation just below prime, which is the very top, the AAA rating. So we're very, very proud of this bond rating. What this does for the city, it increased bond ratings, lower interest rates on borrowing debt. They reduce your cost of issuance, and they attract a broader market of investors to your bonds. So again, this is not something that happens every day. It's a pretty rare occurrence. We're very proud of the upgrade that we just were notified of with our Moody's bond grading. So congratulations to the city on that one. Okay, that completes my award presentations.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, and thank all of you for all the hard work you give to the city. We appreciate it so much. Okay, I guess that means they can go back to work, right? Yeah. Our next recognition, you will recall back in February that the AmeriCorps Sun 7 and CCC team came to Little Rock. And it's a team of 11 members who have been participating in an eight-week energy conservation program that provides a wide range of home efficiency and energy efficiency measures. We set aside $33,000 for this program, and it really gives homeowners on fixed incomes, oftentimes elderly citizens, an opportunity to make their homes more energy efficient when they do not have the means to do so. So Sun 7 has almost completed all of their activities. They're finishing up this week, and they do such things as caulking and sealing cracks and ceilings, weather stripping doors and windows, testing for mold, other related deeds, insulation. They do air testing to look for leaks and things of that nature. They have contacted and visited over 120 residences, completed 80 visual walkthroughs, reported 30 gas leaks that were found, which prevented them from being able to actually do that work at those 30 homes. So they'll be put back on our future list once we get those gas leaks completed. And then they were able to actually perform those services on 30 additional homes. This energy conservation puts more money in our citizens' pockets. It saves lives, and it's a long-term effective solution to the high cost of energy. And so we want to thank them today for these activities. Before I recognize each one of them, we have a short video that Scott's going to play for us. Please, Scott.
My name is Ron Hughes, and I have a company, HERS Inc. HERS stands for Home Energy Rating Systems. I started working a long time ago on a program to energy label houses. So it's been fun watching everyone from the beginning when no one had any idea what they were going to be doing. I look out at everyone, and their expressions reminded me of a cow looking at a new gate. I've never seen anything like this before. And then be just a few weeks into it, and it would seem like everybody's been doing this for a long time. Oh, what's it like working with you all? I love it. Last year was our first time in Little Rock. It was a success, and we're doing it again this year with more people and for longer. And I like what it does for our community and for the people who live in the homes that we visit and test and do what we can to make their life better, their house more comfortable, their bills lower. And what we've also discovered are health and safety things that we had not expected. On most of the houses that we go in, it seems like 4 out of 5 almost have gas leaks.
My name is Kevin Howard. I am the Community Development Manager for the City of Little Rock Housing Neighborhood Programs. The goals of the project is to help citizens' homes in the City of Little Rock to become more energy efficient, and for the AmeriCorps team members to gain knowledge of energy conservation program, and become energy auditors and learn about healthy homes and how the actual household system.
Scott, is there any way to turn that up?
Down in Arkansas, people never wed, or so I've heard it said. They just tumble into bed down in Arkansas.
Very good. I don't know whether you sang with Ron Hughes or not. We'll find out here in a minute. Director Hendricks?
Would you have Kevin to supply the list of properties that they repair? That would be good for us to know,
Sure.
Kevin. Okay. Thank you.
Director Adcock?
Mayor, I've talked to several of the people that had these young people in their homes, and, they all appreciated what they did, but I think what they appreciate more than anything is having young people in their homes with all of the laughter and all the working with them and just being there with them. But they did some fantastic jobs throughout our city.
Director Richardson?
Yes, Kevin, in addition to providing those lists of homes, can you tell us in that presentation how these homes are selected and how the locations of these homes are selected? Is there a waiting list, or is there some sort of process, or is it some kind of random selection process? You don't have to tell me now, sir.
Kevin, if you want to, do you want to tell us that now? Go ahead.
Yes, Mayor. Mayor, board members, the way we selected these homeowners is we already had a list of people that were receiving assistance through the housing neighborhood programs, as far as our emergency assistance program, our limited home repair program, and our elderly home repair program. So we took those citizens that was on those lists prior to, and we supplied that list to the AmeriCorps, the Sun 17, so they could go ahead and call those citizens. And the reason why we did that is because we were focusing on low-income homeowners. So we wanted to get those people that own and occupy those residences. So we didn't want to do any canvases. Initially, we wanted to use that list that we had so they can provide that assistance to them first.
And Kevin, do you want to tell us how we're in the future? This is a great program. We're going to go after it again, of course, for the next Sun team. How will you be getting the word out to people who need these services in the future, so we have other lists?
Yes, once we find out, once we find out from AmeriCorps that we received the grant, we'll start to put out a PR release, a press release, to let each person in the city know. We'll run it out on the access channel that we have. And also, we have brochures in our office, and we'll pass them out to the neighborhood resource centers, and they'll contact people and find out. Of course, we talk to each board member before getting the actual grant, and let you all know that you can tell your citizens in your wards about the program, so they can call in, and then we can, actually have a list prior to, so we'll have that list compiled already.
Very good, thank you.
Does anybody have any?
Okay, I would like to honor our AmeriCorps citizens here with a certificate of appreciation. So I'm going to come down and recognize this group of people. First of all, I'll tell you that City Director Cappy Peck was a wonderful host yesterday and hosted them for lunch at Trios, a very special treat. As you know, and you probably saw on some of the social media, one of her specialties is strawberry shortcake. So she's had some delectable pictures of that, and I want you to know that I think just about everybody tried it or had one. A couple people had two. So it was a very, very nice, and I want to thank Cappy for opening up her restaurant to treat them to lunch. So I've got certificates of appreciation, and they read as follows: the Board of Directors of the City of Little Rock does hereby award, in this instance, Kimberly Higgins, in appreciation of service to the city during the Little Rock Energy Conservation Program, a certificate of appreciation which I've signed. Kimberly?
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is to Daniel Hoyschut.
Daniel's in LA right now, visiting family.
Okay,
So I'll be-
you'll take care of it for him?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Sherry Perry? Sherry? Yeah, let's do it like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skylar Sade?
Thank you, Mayor.
You bet, thank you. Callie Rogers? Callie? Hannah Henson? Erica Peterson? Nathan Weider? Thank you. Marley Donnelly?
Thank you.
Jack Popwell? Jack's the leader of the group.
Thanks.
You bet, Jack. And Thomas Adams. There you go, Thomas. Very good. So each of these young people will finish up this week, and then they will go on back to Denver for their third and final round of activity. Some of them will continue on next year, and others are going to be going on to college or all sorts of different walks of life. Our last charge is going into the Army. So this has been a great program for the city and a great education for them. As many of you know, they get not only do they receive a stipend while they're doing their year of work for AmeriCorps, but they also then are eligible for a $5,500 scholarship to continue their education. And it's a tremendous opportunity. Oftentimes, many of the colleges will even match that, so it really turns into a very, very substantial reward for their hard work that they give us. They told me that the accommodations in Little Rock were a lot better than the other places they've been, so we want to say thank you about that as well. Okay. Thank you. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you.
Director Richardson, did you have a comment? Yes, please.
Yes, Mayor. Director Peck, you made reference to some people having more than one pieces of strawberry shortcake, and Director Peck said you're the only one who had more than one piece.
No, I did. That's not true.
That's
I
what
did
she just
not.
told me. She said you're the only one who had more than one piece. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, we can now move on to the consent agenda. And board members, if you will, look at items 1 through 8 and let me know if you have any questions about any of these. Director Adcock?
Mr. James, on item 5, Mr. Jones, rather, on item 5, do you know what streets are going to be marked on? They could be marked with bicycle lanes?
Mr. Honeywell.
Mayor, board members, Director Adcock, this is downtown. Basically what we're doing is going back and refreshing existing pavement marking in the downtown area that's west of Broadway, between Markham and 630 all the way to the Capitol. So if there's a bike lane that exists out there today, it would just be repainting an existing line. There's no new installation of pavement markings. This is
Thank you.
redoing existing stuff.
Director Hendricks?
Mayor, I wanted to ask 4, 5, 6. Would this be comparable to the list that we received at
Say
the
that
last
again?
meeting? You know, at the last meeting, they passed out a list for us of every street and ward.
streets.
So does this coincide with that? 4, 5, and 6. Sidewalk.
Mr. Honeywell?
Yeah, John.
Is
Well, the
that,
sidewalk construction, I don't think was on that list, but do we have a list for the sidewalk
I
construction
do,
on 4?
and I'll pass that out here. Let me get them. Item number 4 is a continuation of sidewalk construction that the city's, we use both our reentry sidewalk crews, and then we also hire outside contractors to do that work. This is sidewalks that have been identified on the list that we've compiled over years and years and years. We're still working on, and that's the ones that we're doing under this contract, the list that's handing out now. It's got them identified by ward. It's not every ward in the city on this year's list. Last year, the 2016 sidewalk included the wards that are not included on this list. So we tried to keep stuff consolidated in certain areas because we get better prices when the contractor doesn't have to move all over the city and mobilize everywhere. So we try to concentrate it year to year.
so what is here for 4, 5, and 6 could be compared, we could look at this list and tell that's where that street or that action's gonna take place?
Yeah, it's on the left-hand side of the column there. It tells you which ward
Okay,
that
that's-
sidewalk location is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then number 5 is what we just talked about. That's doing pavement marking downtown. That's not related to the overlay list that was last
Okay.
week. Now, number 6 is related to that list that you got last week. That's a contract where we are hiring an outside engineering firm to assist us in inspecting that overlay resurfacing work that's going on throughout the city.
Okay.
When we don't have enough people to cover when the contractor's working in multiple locations at one time, we bring these inspectors in to help us watch the contractor, make sure they're doing the work correctly.
I sure wish we could have some folks who live here that could do that.
They're a local firm.
Oh, they are?
Yes, ma'am.
When you said they bring somebody in, I thought you
Well,
meant out
we
of-
bring in that outside
Within-
of the city.
within the city limits.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. We got too many unemployed people. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Director Wright, you're recognized, please.
Mayor, that answered my.
Okay. Very good. Okay, that takes care of our consent agenda items 1 through 8. We can now move on to our planning and development items 9 and 10. And let me ask if anybody has any questions about either of those two items. Item 10, of course, is the second reading of the Southwest High School plan development. Yes, lots of people. Director Adcock, you're first, please.
Mr. Jones, I'd like a report on item 9, please. A presentation, please.
Tony or Dana?
Dana,
Good evening, Mayor.
in some areas, people have to kind of pull onto the right-of-way to park in front of their houses. So is this pertaining to that?
Well, what this addresses specifically is those cases where we have individuals who are parking boats and boat trailers and campers in the street in front of their houses. The current parking in yards code that we have doesn't address the parking of vehicles in the street itself. By adding this small amendment to that section of the code, it would allow us to address those cases where people park boats, boat trailers, and campers in the street in front of their house for more than 24 hours at a time. You're not going to be penalized if you park out there for a day while you're working on your driveway or your yard or something, but if it's kept there for more than 24 hours, we would be able to enforce on that just as we do the parking in yards section of the code.
Would the enforcement on the street be by the police or by the people from your office?
The enforcement of this would be by the code enforcement officers of the planning department and the housing department.
Okay, thank you.
Director Hendricks, you're recognized, please.
It's the same question, and he's answered it. Because there's a trailer that a lady called been in front of her house for months. So 311 is who she should call?
No, ma'am.
Who do you call?
I'm sorry?
Should she call about that trailer in front of her house?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, yes. And we're taking a look at that.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's gonna pass. I hope so. If they don't, there's something wrong with these board members if it doesn't pass.
Director Wyrick, you're recognized, please.
Mayor, mine is on item 10. I just wanted to give an update. There's a meeting tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock with the school district and the neighborhood group, and we're going to discuss the Southwest High School. Just wanted to get the board updated on where we are.
Okay, good.
And Mayor, we will have planning and public works, and I'll be there.
All right, and would you provide us an update on Friday in the Pony? On
Sure.
All right, very good. Director Richardson, you're recognized, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Dana, don't run off too quick. Just one quick question, jumping back to number 9. Is it legal to park 18-wheelers on city streets?
Not in residential zones, Director Richardson. We do occasionally get complaints on those, and we do enforce on them as a zoning violation.
And we do the same kind of enforcement as we do other code enforcement? What's the enforcement, what's the penalty for that?
It's treated as a violation of the zoning ordinance for parking a commercial vehicle in a residential zone. The code requires that we give an initial 7-day notice. If the vehicle is not removed, we can then move to a citation.
So there are no exceptions to that, just none whatsoever?
Not in the language of the code, but certainly there are always avenues where a person could appeal either to the Board of Adjustment or something like that.
So what about cases where they play cat and mouse with us, that we may cite them and a day later they move it and then 3 days later bring it right back?
We're pretty good about catching. You can only play cat and mouse so long, and folks in the neighborhoods are very helpful to us, and letting us know when the vehicles are there. And sometimes it takes us more than one trip to catch a vehicle, but we do continue to stay on it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Director Wyrick, you're recognized, please.
Before you leave, Dana, I'm aware of 2 or 3 semis, and I think we're a little bit off topic of this, but they'll park on a street, and then I'll see them on another street, and then on another street. They're just kind of moving from day to day. If they're in a residential subdivision, then that's illegal to do. But say, for instance, they're on a commercial or let's see, what's the street names? It's not I guess it's a minor arterial, but there are homes along that minor arterial. Is that illegal?
If they're parked in front of a residential property, we would treat that as a zoning violation.
If it's a commercial property?
The category of the street, whether it's a residential or collector or arterial. If it's parked in a residential zone, meaning the zoning of the abutting properties or residential, we would approach it from that standpoint.
I see one on Mableville Pike, and he kind of moves from Mableville Pike to a neighborhood subdivision and back. And there are apartments that are there, but all of the land around where he's parking is vacant.
If you can get that information to me, I'll sure have that checked out for you.
Okay, well, he's not there right now. So, like I said, he kind of moves around, so I was just curious about that.
Okay.
Next time I catch him, I'll call you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dana.
Yes, sir.
If there are no other questions about the agenda, we can move on to the legislative update. Emily Cox, welcome. Emily? Are they going home soon?
I think so. I'm headed that way after this meeting. I think Monday is what I'm hearing. So, but good evening, Mayor and members of the board. I'll give you guys an update. In terms of our agenda, our procurement bill to allow for submission of electronic bids is now an act. And our bill to allow for different addresses of record to be used when sending notices to property owners about code violations is also an act. And our bill to clarify when the city can file a civil suit against a property owner in cases of criminal abatement is in the Senate Judiciary Committee. We tried hard to find an amendment that struck the right balance to accomplish what we needed and also mitigated the opposition, and we weren't able to do so. So I wanted to let y'all know that. There are a couple of league bills that I know everyone's interested in. The Historical Rehabilitation Income Tax Credit Bill is now an act. And the bill concerning the discount available to taxpayers for prompt submission of sales tax returns is Senate Bill 657, and it passed the Senate and it got out of the House Revenue and Tax Committee this morning, so it's on its way to the full House. And I know that the Municipal League worked with Walmart on an amendment to phase it in over a few years period, so that's the update on that one. And then revenue stabilization was distributed this morning in Joint Budget Committee, and the municipal aid line for general revenue was held harmless, which is good news. And then on the online sales tax bills, Senate Bill 140 came up today in House Revenue and Tax, and it failed to get enough votes to get out of committee. And I know a lot of people worked hard on it, so. No, ma'am, I'm sorry. I've got a couple more, I'm sorry. House Bill 1388, which is Representative Douglas's bill about providing notice to have for taxes that you owe, is still in the Senate, and some folks are optimistic about it and others are not. So I think it would be great if you wanted to reach out to our senators about that one. It's House Bill 1388. So if and when it comes up on the Senate calendar, it'd be good to know for them to know how much we support it. And then, so that's it for the online sales tax bills. For the special election bills, Senate Bill 723 by Senator Wallace is the one that's in play, and it limits special elections to the preferential primary and to the general election. And the bill was amended last week to say, to add emergency situations to accommodate those. The bill is in the House State Agencies Committee, and I can tell you the members of our delegation who are on that committee are aware of our concerns with the bill, and there are lots of people working against that bill as well. So we'll see how that one shakes out. House Bill 2220 amends the process for permitting non-municipal domestic sewage treatment works, and it has passed the House.
Could you pull the microphone? Nobody can hear you.
I'm sorry. House Bill 2220 amends the process for permitting non-municipal domestic sewage treatment works, and it's passed the House. And House Bill 1655 allows land within 1/2 mile of a state park to be annexed if it contains a school, and that is now an act.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
sir.
deals with Robinson.
House Bill 1297 is titled the Military Heritage Protection Act, and it's got a very broad definition of what constitutes a monument by including streets and bridges. And this is one that it came up in the 2015 session, and it was defeated. And we've tried hard at every turn we fought the bill at every turn in the session, and it has passed the Senate State Agencies Committee, despite testimony about the practical implications and problems with the bill. And then Senate Bill 519 is the one that creates a separate holiday for Martin Luther King Jr., and it was publicly signed last week, and I did not have an act number yet, and it's Act 561, so I wanted to let you know that. And then Senate Bill 521 is the procurement bill that Director Wyrick had asked about last week. And it passed the Senate with the minimum number of votes needed. And there are a lot of people working the House committee really hard on this bill. There are lots of folks who have problems with it like we do, so we've been working hard on that. So I'll be sure to provide an update on that one. Senate Bill 521, it's on procurement. It changes lots of components to the RFP and RFQ process. So I'll be sure to provide an update on where that one ends after it's been presented in committee this week. I'm sorry. And that concludes my report. There's a procurement bill that impacts the RFP and RFQ process that Director Wyrick had asked about last week.
Okay, Director Campiris.
Emily, going back to my favorite bill,
Yes, sir.
I am, it's passed the Senate. It would pass the House if it ever got out of committee. It's being held hostage in committee, correct? That you work for us. I mean, is that correct?
It got 9 votes
It needs
in
2
committee,
more.
and it needs 2 more. So it did not get out of the committee.
I am a little, and I got in a little bit late on this, but I am a little bit I'm a little bit disappointed in the municipal league not pushing harder on this. You've got people on that committee that ought to be able, that we ought to be able to talk to. And you've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they could run the bill again on Thursday. If you and the mayor get the municipal league to find 2 of those people on that committee to do it. Basically, all the things you talked about are important to us, but this is a bill that would get what for us? How much? $100 million to the state?
Well, they're different. The projections range, but it's significant.
Significant amount. And it's our only chance to do anything in the state, and it's being held hostage in a committee because one group wants to get something from the governor and one doesn't. This is crazy. I mean, we ought to just junk everything else we've done and concentrate on that, because that's real money in our pocket. And I would urge you and the mayor to sit down after this and talk to Don Zimmerman and say, you know, what can we do to get this thing done? Is there a way to get this thing done? Because this is really serious business, and this is our chance to get something done. And it's passed the Senate. And my understanding is if they got a clean bill out, it would pass the House tomorrow, which means the Republicans mainly are for it, and who's holding it up are not the Republicans.
Well, those are some, I'm happy to work with Emily again to get the municipal league to use whatever leverage they have. But I will tell you that the leverage is really based on a question of whether a person, I mean, it's not, we have representatives who are not voting for it. Okay?
Mayor,
And so, in addition to that effort, phone calls by this board to individuals that are our representatives would be very, very helpful. I mean, they're playing the game.
Then I would suggest that you get a list of people that we need to call to every member here with phone numbers on who to
Well,
call.
Emily, you probably could give us the
I mean-
vote. Can you give us the vote right now about who voted for it or who voted again, who did not vote for it?
I don't have it in front of me. I know Representative Saban, who is the Little Rock legislator on the
One of
committee,
ours.
did
He
vote
voted for it.
Yes, he did. It's in the House Revenue and Tax Committee, and Representative Saban voted to get Senate Bill 140 out of committee. Senate Bill 140.
Is there any opportunity for this to come up again on Thursday?
Yes.
I mean, anything's possible.
If we get two people to change their vote, that it'll get run again. But you have to find the two people to do it. This is just basic blocking and tackling. We're at the last minute. We have one chance we have three bills that came up. None of them passed. This is the best one. It's passed the Senate. It will pass the House tomorrow, but we can't get two votes to do it. Now, this is, and it affects every city in this state. I don't get it. I mean, I don't get what they're trying to hold up, why they're trying to do it. And if it doesn't work, we need to have a postmortem on who did what and why they did it.
I agree. Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at some of these other ones here. I take you all in order here. Director Wyrick is next.
On that Senate Bill 521, it says political subdivisions. If they would just remove that out of the bill, we would be home free.
It's true.
The previous legislation that's in law now, did it also identify political subdivisions? I'm thinking that's new on the procurement side.
I'm not sure what the previous legislation, or I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Well, the law that's in place now that deals
Oh,
with.
just procurement law? I mean,
Procurement law.
We do have, I mean, I don't want to, if the city attorney's office wants to answer, I would defer to them. But there are codes, I mean, there's state law that we follow in terms of procurement.
Okay. So political subdivision may have always been in there.
Well, it's not in this code section that's amended in Senate Bill 521. So that is kind of where one of the problems is with the bill.
So political subdivision is new to this procurement law.
To this code section that's amended.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for
Okay, so just
helping
get them to
fill in the blanks.
use some whiteout and wipe that out.
Director Hendricks, you're recognized, please.
My comment I wanted to ask, actually, what do you do? Do you sit and watch these people operate? The reason why I ask you, when Dean said that, I think we all have a responsibility to be at that state capitol, and I don't think I've ever seen any of you over there. But it's our responsibility, not just for her, to talk to these people, and we talk to folks who are not even in our district. At least that's what I've done. You can't do it by yourself.
I
You
appreciate it.
cannot do it by yourself.
Thank you.
Director Adcock.
When can you get us a copy of the names? And Mayor, Dean, one of you said 2 people. Is there 2 definite people we need to contact, even outside of Little Rock?
You need, thank you. You need 11 to get it out of the committee, clean. The problem is they're holding it up so it won't be a clean bill. If they get it out as a clean bill, I think it's got a great chance of being done.
I think it has a greater chance, yes, or great chance.
But they need 2 people that voted no today to change their votes to say, yes, send a clean bill out. What they've done is that it's a group wants to hold the bill hostage to get something else, so they're doing it, and they've done it. They've hamstrung the bill. But what no one says to any of these people is every one of these people represents a community. And every community is not going to get the money that would be beneficial to them because of this bill. And to me, go find someplace else to play politics. Don't do it on the one that helps every community in this state. There's not a person that's hurt by this bill.
I'll go to my desk after the meeting and
Okay,
get
so
the
we need a
to you
list of
guys.
those that have already said they're going to vote for it. Then we need a list that's holding it up. And we need telephone numbers,
Yes, ma'am.
because we all know we get plenty of telephone calls, so we should just return the favor. So we can have it tonight?
Yes, ma'am.
Emily, a quick question on that, because I've been to many of these committee meetings. Did they have a full committee entourage, or is it, I guess what I'm saying is, are there some folks not going to the committee meetings that we could maybe get there? I
There
know that
was-
sometimes they conveniently don't go to the committee meetings, so they don't have to vote on something.
There
but-
were several people who were seated in the room who did not vote. And then there were several who were there who voted no, and there were a couple of people who were absent as well.
Okay.
So
So
it's
so
a
most of the-
20-person committee, so
20
it kind of
person,
runs
okay.
So
the.
most
That's
of
what
the
I'm
committee
saying.
was there, though.
I think, yeah,
Okay.
If you will mark those that voted yes, those that voted no, and those that didn't vote.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Emily, on HB 1388, give us a give us the status on that one. That's
Sure. That one has passed the House, and it got out of the Senate Revenue and Tax Committee, and it's just in the Senate, and it's not been voted on. And the last I checked, a couple of, probably an hour or two ago, it was not on the Senate calendar. And so it,
handicapped that at all?
have I handicapped that at all?
Well, in terms of its passage.
Some people are optimistic, some are pessimistic. I mean, I think it would take a lot of outreach. This is the notification bill, an online sales tax.
Okay.
I think it's
I see. Point blank.
because they address different
They do.
standpoints, and this one has survived challenges in other states.
That's
So
correct.
It would be very good to get them both out.
So I'll provide you with our delegations' names and phone numbers so that outreach can be made to the senators. And I'll be sure and put a description of the bill, so you know which bill goes with which legislators.
And while you're at it, that 723, the one that's
Yes.
restricting the special elections to only in May and November. If you give us that's a real critical one,
Yes.
too. Well, if that has to do with, it's not gonna, you've got school millage issues, you've got all sorts of other issues that get restricted by this, and, I know we're fighting it, and, I'd kind of like to see what the handicap is on that, too.
Okay.
Director Adcock, you're recognized.
No, I'd already asked my question.
Pardon?
I've already asked my question.
Oh, you have already. Director Hines, well, he's not here. Okay. Director Hines, did you have a question?
I think that's covered it. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you, Emily.
Yes, you're
And if you
welcome.
get that information for
I'll
us,
do
we
it. Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Okay, that completes the items on our agenda for today. Anything by anyone else? Of course, tomorrow, the State of the City is going to be at the West Central Community Center, and I think most everybody's going to be there, I hope, and I look forward to seeing you there. Director Wright?
Mr. Jones, I need the reentry team that's working on cutting and trimming sidewalks to come down 36th Street from Rock Creek Bridge all the way down, I believe it's to Catherine. Those sidewalks are very overgrown. And people can't walk. So I've seen them, they were out there yesterday. I saw them doing Barrow Road, and I very much appreciate it. But I need them to hit that area of 36th Street to get those sidewalks trimmed and cleaned. Okay? Thank you.
Director Wyrick?
Thank you, Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Jones, I'm getting calls about Stagecoach and Chateau. You know, those two lots that we have there, they're already overgrown with grass. And, you know, this is starting to be the growing season, and they're already complaining. So we need someone to go out there and look at it and post it. And it seems crazy to me that every time it grows up, this neighborhood has to call 311, tell them about it, it gets posted, you know, and then we go through this process of having to mow it. So I wonder if we can have code enforcement kind of watch this. And I know there's going to be thousands of lots and locations for mowing this year, but I really hear from that neighborhood. And they've got a nice neighborhood with manicured lots and yards and shrubs, and to have to go through these two lots into their homes is just unheard of. So if you could have someone from code enforcement pay particular attention to that area, I would appreciate it.
Director Adcock, you're recognized, please.
Mr. Jones, I'd like to know how much liens we've got on those lots. It seems like commercial lots, we keep cutting and we keep cutting. On residentials, we eventually put liens on them. And I'd like to know on our commercial lots, what are we doing about the liens on them? Because this is, I think, the second or third year that Director Wyrick has had to report these lots, and there has to be some solution to it. Thank you.
Okay, if there's nothing else, then we're finished. Thank you very much.